Hi class. Today I'm going to speak to you about my personal take on video games and their effect on culture. So growing up, I played a lot of video games. We had a Wii, we had a Xbox, and a GameCube. I also owned a pink DS, which is just a little video game, hand-sized, and you could buy so many different games for it, and I never had any bad experiences with it. It actually brought my family closer together, siblings-wise, because we would have a lot of fun playing the video games. Now as an adult, I don't play any video games, but I had a lot of fun playing all these different kinds of video games. For example, when I would have a Wii, I would play Wii Sports, and that was really fun. And I would play Sims on my PS, and that was really fun. But it was more so of a disc, and I would put it in my computer, so it wasn't like an actual game console, which you would usually need for most of the video games. And for GameCube, we had Mario Kart, so we would do video game tournaments with just our siblings and cousins, and it was really fun. I don't think that it affects me personally. I don't play video games anymore, so I'm not addicted to it, but I do know other people that have been addicted to it. For example, my cousin was obsessed with video games. He would play FIFA and Halo and Call of Duty all day. Like, he would go eat and then come back and play video games. My brother also loved video games, and he would play a lot of it all night. I just remember being in bed and he would be shouting because he loved video games. Not necessarily was he addicted, but I could see how people could get addicted to video games because it's fun and they get to get away. But I think that it can be a bad effect on other people because it is kind of taking them away of reality, and they could be doing other things than playing video games all day, like going and taking a walk or doing some art or learning how to play an instrument or hang out with friends. If a person just wants to do and play video games, I think that is when it becomes dangerous. And as a form of media, I think that video games are a great form of media because it brings people together and it shows them different things, and they can create a community from a video game that they like, and I think that's a really cool way for people to meet friends, to find something that they have in common. But I could also see how it could be a bad form of media. I think that it's better than worse just because my own experience with video games has never been bad, and it also made my siblings and cousins and I get closer because we enjoyed playing them together, and I never thought it was a bad form of media. For video games being violent, there's this huge controversy if video games may cause violence, like the violent actions that occur, like shootings and just violent behavior. I don't think that video games cause that because I had my cousin and my brother play violent video games like Call of Duty and all these fighting games and shooting games, and they were the most least violent people I knew. So I don't think that's what it is. There's also different forms of media where people can watch and get ideas, so I don't think it all comes from video games. I think that politicians blame video games a lot, but I don't think that that is the reason why. Maybe certain people get all excited from seeing violence in the video games, but won't necessarily actually do it. I think that's more of a mental disorder than a kid wanting to play video games. So that is my personal take on video games, and I think, as goes with the media, that it does connect a lot with other medias. The game Rock Band, I used to play the game Rock Band a lot with my siblings, and I learned a lot of new rock songs from playing Rock Band. So I thought it was really cool that you can learn the art of music, and that video game is also considered an art because there's a lot of work put into it. So I think that it is really cool that we have video games around because they make life more fun, and it continues to be bigger and bigger as technology grows, as we've learned that these different medias are getting just so different and bigger. Same goes with video games. There's virtual reality now where we can put on goggles and we can look at something completely different than what's in front of us and be actually in the game. It feels that way. So I think that it's cool that video games are expanding, and I don't think that it causes violence. I think that it just all comes on to who the person is and how they react to the video game. Thank you.